experience. If you have a full keg, what do you think the usage is out of the average keg?
Okay. Do you mind if I take this one? If everything's cool, if you got it below 37 degrees and your CO2 set correctly and it's been working, you should probably only lose, really, 4 beers out of a keg.
Well, it also depends on the frequency of using it.
Absolutely.
Because, I'll notice that when I was bartending at times that, for your standard Bud Light and Miller Lite, you're pouring them all night.
Right.
And then you stop using it for about an hour or two. We'd do that while we clean up.
You get a foamer.
We'd go to pour a beer at the end of the night, and we'd get a foamer, yeah.
Right.
But then some of the other beers wouldn't do that. I would say you probably, in realistic terms, probably 5%. You might or actually probably closer to 10, depending on the bartender and the speed. Because if you're pouring quick and you're busy, you don't have time to sit there and let it set. You dump it off and you just keep pouring. So 10% probably is your waste.
In old the pub back in the day, probably 30% they were losing.
Oh yeah, well they had really inefficient taps there.
Right,
they had temperature issues.
Oh, it was horrible.
And of course, here in Florida, if you've got temperature issues, then it becomes an even bigger dilemma. At least up north, if it's cold, you can kind of offset some of that. But the reason I bring all this up, guys, is because it's more and more common now to see these self-serve beer tabs. You go into certain bars, they have self-serve wine, they have self-serve beer.
The pub here at International Plaza has that. And I actually, as a, the question you're posing in your article here is that they may make bartenders obsolete. But even as a when I was bartending, I enjoyed going to places like this because it just gives you the freedom not to have to wait for somebody. And typically they're not putting them behind the bar. You typically still have a bar, so it just helps alleviate some of the pressure at the bar on the bartender.
I haven't used these before. Now, is it like something you hit a button and it drops down a certain amount of beer?
No, what it is you have your glass, and then there's a bank of taps, probably 8 taps, and you wave your card in front of a sensor.
Right.
And then you pour the beer.
So you're actually tapping it yourself. You're pulling it forward.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, they're taking a lot into consideration that people actually know how to do that.
Well, yeah.
But it auto pours, so I think there's some kind of
so
modulation.
it stops at a certain 12 ounces or something?
Yeah.
No. You can keep pouring, but it charges you per ounce. It
Right.
measures how much you're drinking.
What's genius?
So if you pour 15 ounces off in a 12-ounce mug, they're charging you 15 ounces.
Okay, beautiful. So they've thought of that.
I thought it only poured a prescribed amount. I thought it only poured just if you wave it once, it's just pouring 12 ounces.
Like one of those
some
coffee
do,
things.
The wine ones I've seen have done that, but
But you won't lose anything on wine.
No, at the pub though.
Right.
In International Plaza, the one they have, you can pour as much or as little as if you want, which is kind of cool because if you want to try a beer, and you can just say, let me try an ounce of that, and you like it, or maybe you have somebody with you, you say, hey, just go try it real quick, get a sip of it, and you can pour an ounce or two, and then you're only paying for that ounce or two.
That's nice.
Well, the reason I'm bringing up the yield is because according to they interviewed this one owner in this article talking about self-serve beer taps, and this guy has a chain of different places. One of the places he has is called Doghouse, and it's like sausage and beer, basically, right? And the co-founder claims that he loves these auto taps. One, obviously, you're saving in labor, but two, he says in theory that you tend to get 100% yield on a keg.
Well, yeah, because you're billing everybody for the foam that they're dumping off.
Yeah, you're billing per ounce. You're not. They're probably still not consuming 100%. But they're paying for 100%.
Well, that's all he cares about.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, I don't give a crap what they drink. But so if they want to sit there and mess with the tap all night. Now, the only thing I would have to say to him is that you better have your taps working pretty good.
Yeah.
You're not going to, I mean, if I go in there and I pour half a beer off, I'm going to be like, I'm not coming back to this place. He needs to chill this thing down.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we're getting to the end of the segment here. I want to stay on time.
What's up with
before
your voice?
break. I've got a frog in my throat.
Yeah.
I want to stay on time because I'm so excited about having this guest later at 8 o'clock. But we're going to end this segment the way we do every single week, guys, and that is with the Badass of the Week. Jen, the
Badass of the Week. Badass of the Week, yeah.
It's good to have Joe in this punk rock voice, isn't it?
Yeah, it saves us, definitely.
You guys harmonize well, though, I must say.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Timing is everything.
Yeah.
You guys are like the Supremes in the back. I'm kind of Diana Ross or something.
Is it like two wrongs make a right?
I say supreme failure.
Right said Fred? What? No,
Wow.
two wrongs. No, rights? Okay.
So this badass of the week is a 105-year-old Japanese man who just claimed the record for the oldest sprinter. He just completed a 100-meter sprint in 42.2 seconds. And that's not his record. He was going for his record of about 36 seconds.
He looks pretty good.
But he does it for
100
105 years old. He's out here sprinting. And that's pretty awesome.
So that's a couple feet bigger than a football field, right? We're talking about?
Yeah.
Right? 42 seconds?
It's not exactly rocket speed.
No,
but,
he probably
I mean,
beat me. Now that I think about it, my knee's kind of bummed now. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wonder, did he
Should
learn,
not have to stop and rest.
Did he learn to sprint this fast because his bladder was so small that he was constantly running to the bathroom?
No, it actually, he's that old, so it probably started sprinting when he was like living in Hiroshima. And was trying to get 15.5 miles away from the center of town.
If you look at the picture, his face looks like that's what he's thinking of, too. He's like, oh, get out of here.
Not that we condone any nuclear weapons or nothing.
No.
I wouldn't have lied back then. That was 40-something, right? 45, 44, something? Yeah.
That was in the
Yeah,
40s.
45. Yeah,
I
so
mean,
that's a cool story.
Far be it for you to be specific. So. Well, guys, we're going to jump to a commercial break. When we get back, some drug news. A college prank turns into jail time. An Indiana school has created marijuana goggles to show kids what it's like to be high.
I have heard of these.
And you won't believe how lame this is.
I know, it's ridiculous.
All you Craniacs, stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
From the creators of Backwoods Casino and Dumpster Wars comes a reality show that hits you right where it hurts. Critics say Dive Bar is an up-close and personal diary of the marinated underbelly of small-town America. Dive Bar cuts through the smoky haze, exposing the lives of the workers and patrons of Lulu Bell's Packaged Liquors and Lounge. This is real Dive Bar action.
Red, honey, you know there's no sleeping at the bar.
I'm sorry, Lulu Bell. I got no other place to go. You know my old lady kicked me out.
This is real Dive Bar action.
That is a load of crap. What do you mean you don't take EBT?
This is real Dive Bar problem.
I don't give a shit if she's my mom or not. I'm gonna kick her ass.
This is real Dive Bar romance.
Goddamn! You going home with him or me, you junk tease?
This is a real Dive Bar.
Catch Dive Bar every Tuesday night at 8 on the Bootlegger channel.
Okay. That's the spot. That's the golden ticket. Grandmama, no!
Have you ever been detected in the middle of self-gratification? The scandalous looks from family members and friends who have caught you in the act could lead to years of mental scars and embarrassment. The Fapper, an advanced masturbation protection detection device. Here at the Fapper Corporation, we are using Class A laser technology to build a safe and inconspicuous early warning alert system. Our patented Fapper system includes setup directions, 2 monitoring units, and a discrete earpiece that will alert the user before privacy has been breached, providing ample time to pack up safely. Contact us today and receive the Fapper system for only 7 payments of $777. But wait, there's more! Call now and receive a second Fapper system and 2 free big whammy shammies. Just pay separate processing and handling. Visit thefapper.com.
The Fapper system was just voted Innovative Product of the Year by Sex Tech Magazine.
Hello, this is Tim the Bear from the Cleveland Show. You're listening to the Cranial Emission Show on Spreaker.com. Hope you like his show.
I'm from a city in the Midwest, best city in the whole wide world. Say now, I'm from a city in the Midwest, best city in the whole wide world.
Welcome back to the Cranial Mission Show, folks. Coming to you live here from the Bermuda Triangle in a nice cigar bar with great craft beer and a wonderful, vivacious, and lovely bartender named Faith that is good to us. A place.
Hot, Faith.
Wow, that was loud.
I'm sorry.
Your microphone was hot.
I know. Wow, I got excited.
No, you did. I mean, I think you blew out everybody's eardrums there listening. But a place called the Lion's Den here in Ybor City, Tampa, Florida. You want to be a part of the show? Well, hell, I mean, just pick up the phone and call. You can dial 813-438-6068. If you're a social media person, go to Facebook. You can find us there, facebook.com/The Cranial Emissions Network. You can follow us on Twitter at Cranially. And the most important thing, go to cranialemissions.com. We have an interactive map on our website. You can learn a little bit about us. You probably don't want to, but you can. And the interactive map actually tells us where you're listening from from around the world, and we get a kick out of that. We like to find out who's listening from what countries. We've been fortunate to get an international audience over the years. In December, it'll be 5 years we've been doing this show.
Good God.
Crazy.
We haven't been discovered yet. Just kidding.
We're clearly not doing something.
In December, it'll be 8 months, I think, for me.
Wow.
Well, it's about time to have that kid. Sorry.
I did wonder if he was pregnant, but then I realized it was just beer.
Yeah, we all have a little bit of that pregnancy going
We
on.
do,
It's
yeah.
good.
Well,
It's-
not
hey,
you have it the least, actually.
Yeah, and years of forced labor will keep you skinny. Trust me, dude. It happens.
Well, we've all look. You and I, Joe, we've been friends for a long time now. It's crazy because you and I have been friends for, gosh, probably 10 years now.
Yeah, I mean, I've been here in Florida for about 15.
I think you and I have been pretty tight for about 10 years.
Yep.
Jesus and I have been friends for 21 years. And
lovers for like 4, so
off and on.
Yeah.
It's been
between girlfriends and
it's been
marriage,
a tempestuous relationship.
I know.
To say the least. But hey, we all like to have fun. We all like to mess with each other. We like to have, obviously Jesus and I like to mess with each other in different ways. But well, hey, it's already out there.
I'm blushing over here.
Might as well just embrace it. But we like, and occasionally we play some pranks on each other. But in this case, this is the kind of prank that gets you thrown in jail. A kid from the U. I guess you got to call it the U now, right?
That's what they call it.
Everybody
Yeah.
calls it the U.
It's got a big U on their helmet.
Well, he decides to prank the RA by leaving powdered sugar all over his room for dorm inspections. And immediately he's arrested and thrown in jail for felony cocaine possession. He left this stuff in huge lines on his desk, all over the place. He left lines. It was on the coffee table, on the counter. He had a rolled up dollar bill, and then he had 7 white pills all streamed out. And meanwhile, the pills were just aspirin. The lines were just powdered sugar. This kid, Jonathan Harrington, he just thought everybody would get a chuckle out of it. 21-year-old English major. Meanwhile, he winds up handcuffed, dragged to jail, and charged with felony cocaine possession. It was 23.7 grams of the finest powdered sugar that you can buy at Publix.
That's some good stuff. That is some good stuff. Now, there's probably not information on whether he was actually, he was obviously charged, but arrested. I mean, like even convicted, probably not. There is laws against having things look like drugs, though. You can get arrested. You can literally be arrested for trying to sell somebody something that looks like a drug, if you said it was that drug. So I mean, it's kind of funny, but.
Well, because the crime is on the intent, not necessarily the actual
Absolutely.
article.
So this kid spends the night in jail, hanging out and eating ham sandwiches, and
In Miami.
yeah. And,
Let me explain. That's probably not a good time.
well, and you and I have talked about. I know you've had your comment about the ham sandwiches in jail.
They're not good. and they give you milk that's like literally just like a couple degrees above like drinkable.
Oh.
Yeah, I was actually really like a popular guy in jail because I gave away a lot of my food. I'd be like, yeah, I don't really want that.
Milk's got to be cold.
Yeah, it
It's
really
gotta be
does.
cold.
It really does, man.
This is funny. This story reminds me of a story we talked about a couple weeks ago. We were here at the Lions Den. And it was a guy who got arrested for, I think it was cocaine, but it turned out to be salt that was on his floorboard. You remember that?
Yeah, no.
And he spent like 45 days in jail while it was tested.
This was a guy in Australia.
Right.
Yeah, we were talking about the show. Yeah, the thing is, they're still the charges haven't been dropped on this because apparently when they went to test it, they got a false positive. At least according to Harrington, to the kid that's being charged, it's a false positive, and so they're still trying to sort this out. Meanwhile, he faces suspension from school. And then obviously a bevy of charges because they estimate that this was like up to $1,500 worth of cocaine if in fact it was cocaine. But he still keeps swearing that it was just powdered sugar. It was just a joke.
Well, I can see where this could be a problem because, a smart person who was like dealing coke or at least doing it in their room may try to cover their tracks by doing
With powdered sugar. I was
something as such as this. I mean, I can see where you'd be like, oh, well, yeah, funny joke, but... there was a reason why. You know what I mean? There's a possibility, although small as it may be, that he was trying to pull a fast one by just dumping a bunch of powdered sugar on top of his blow.
Here's what I'm wondering. Is maybe he normally does coke.
Right.
He was doing it on those same surfaces.
That's what I'm thinking.
And there was some residue. Then he puts the sugar on there. It mixes up.
Tastes a little positive.
Right.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you got a little bit of
You know what, dude? Like I said, it's a really stupid joke. I mean, that there's not going to be someone right there who's going to be like, I mean, dude, if there's a pound of white powder on a mirror with a dollar bill rolled up next to it, somebody's going to jail. He should have known that, right? I mean, you're pretty much sure.